All right. This is going to be fantastic. Who's here has bought a NFT ticket? Cheer. I can't see with the lights. There we go. House lights. All right. We are going to get into a whole lot more in a quick amount of time. We have two great people, Josh Katz from Yellow Heart and Elena Obukhova from Flashback. We're just going to start off. Let's start off with introductions. Tell us a little about company. What is it that made you want to just do this? And tell us what you are most proud of at this moment, because this is such a fledgling sector. I mean, NFT.NYC has been here. This is the third year of doing it, but you know, as Clubhouse kind of showed us in the last year, that it really started blowing up. But I know you started in May.
Yeah, we started only this May.
Let's hear this. This is going to be a great story. Tell us about it.
So yeah, like I came up with this idea a bit earlier than May, and like idea was to create something like so valuable for people. Like I don't know, like if you remember the paper-based tickets and how like people were like really like taking care of them. They were like going to different events, and every time like you have like amazingly designed ticket, you would keep it after event, and every time you look at it, you just remember how great the event was. And with the pandemic, we started seeing like all these boring QR codes, and who cares about these QR codes? They're just like so generic. They're like look exactly the same. And I thought, why not merge art and the technology, right? And make tickets not only like great from a technical perspective, but also like art looking, right? So we can also bring a lot of digital artists to industry. We can like open a lot of opportunities for like people to get access to art through something like very familiar for them that are just tickets. We open a lot of opportunities for event organizers to actually connect with their community, to add like in every ticket their brand, their like kind of like a piece of their culture. Just imagine like how amazing like Burning Man tickets can look like with this technology. So I'm really proud that within this like a few months, we already secured a lot of large event organizers, and we're getting a lot of users on our platform. And I see people going crazy, not like saying that it's a nice idea, they actually getting so excited.
And you got to team up with Avalanche. Right.
Yeah, we're building Avalanche.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, since May, I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, we are traveling at warp speed here, and I want to just get a gauge of the room here. Who ever had a ticket that said Ticketron? Yell out, Ticketron. Anybody? All right. Ticketmaster, though. We all have some Ticketmaster stubs that are pretty faded. And, you know, we're going to talk more about this as art, as artwork, as something that is a collectible, because I still go to my photo albums, and the sticky stuff's all dried up now, and there's my Bryan Adams ticket from 1980 something. Anyway, but let's talk to Josh for a moment. Josh, tell us a little about Yellow Heart. And I know you've had some wonderful success stories, but like you tell me also, and here's something interesting. While we were talking in the wings, we've been in the same room. We came to the conclusion we've been in the same room at the same time at some point in the last few years.
Definitely, at least once, if not many times.
So, not enough that we remember each other. Yeah. But tell us about Yellow Heart.
Of course. So Yellow Heart was started in 2017. I'm a diehard music fan, diehard Fish head. I don't know if anyone's out there is into the jam band community. And summer of 17, Fish, right here at NYC, does 13 shows at Madison Square Garden. And of course, I want to go to all 13. So as these shows start happening, you think by night 7, 8, tickets would get less expensive. No, they get more expensive. And I'm sitting in one of those shows, it might have been night 9, and I'm like, how did I pay $1,000 to come to this show tonight with me and my wife? And the ticket price is $70. Where's that money going? It's not going to the guys on stage. Where's it going? And I started thinking about it. And at the time, I was hosting the New York Ethereum meetup, because I was deep in the, into Ethereum. I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and I brought it back. And before we knew it, we started talking about smart contracts. and how we could, program tickets and, program files. And that was it. And it was born.
Smart contracts and what we're going to be able to do with them and what we are doing with them. I mean, this is something with the utilities, everything there. When you mentioned about the 13 shows for Fish, I instantaneously thought of LCD sound system.
Same thing.
For the Garden. And if anybody was in New York at that time trying to get those tickets, which sold out in a second, and James Murphy was like, I couldn't even get tickets for my parents. And then they ended up doing the Terminal 5 shows for the entire week, and it was just still absolute insanity. So we're going to talk about secondary market, and we are going to talk about bots and trying to help with the scalpers. And I know we have 9 minutes left, so we're going to do this really quick.
Talk fast.
I want to get back to Elena here. We talk about collectibles and the artwork. Tell us your thoughts on this and the collectibles, because remembering an event, and I was going back to. We still show, some of us that have been, around since the 80s, yes, we still use Facebook and post those tickets of, my Pearl Jam for $5 and Nirvana for $6. And we post those tickets and everybody's like, oh my God, this is great. Now what are we looking at? What are we going to be sharing in 10 years?
We can share the artwork. And behind that, for example, you mentioned collectibles, right? So we're trying to make tickets not only art looking, but there's such a thing as unlockable content that we can add in every single NFT. And that's a really amazing part, because we can add let's say a voice message or some special soundtrack from a singer. And that's not only a memory, it's something way more. It's actual connection with your favorite singer or whoever, artist or maybe event organizer. So it brings a lot of connection between people and whatever event organizer, festival, and maybe their favorite singer. So this part stays valuable even after event is over. So people can go to secondary markets, they can start selling these tickets, they can actually collect them, and organizers can also add a lot more gamification. And that's another part about engagement with the community. You can ask, you can say whoever has 5 tickets for our previous festivals, gets some special dinner with a celebrity, or maybe gets a free ticket or some special, I don't know, a DJ shout out. Imagine you coming to a club and a David Guetta is saying hi, Elena, welcome to a club. I would be so excited to have it. And that's something that is possible to do through NFTs. So whenever you have this ticket in 10 years, you can still get some perks, because 10 years ago you was at this super special event.
Mm-hmm. And and then maybe if you want to sell that digital ticket because somebody's a collector and wasn't at the show, and they're collecting all the Fish shows from 2020 on.
Absolutely.
So I want one more on top of that is, talking about remembering this event, and you're talking about it could be for an agency, it could be for the venue, it could be for the fans. But also about the singer-songwriter or the band. And one thing, when you go back, you mentioned QR codes, and I just feel that QR codes, when they first came out, it's there was this rage about oh, it's all the rages, and then people I don't understand QR codes, and then they made it come back, and they're part of our ecosystem. But when dealing with musicians, trying to get them to even do anything get a Spotify pre-save link, understanding doing that and sending out on Linktree, it's tough enough. But for some reason, I feel this using it NFT. I want to talk about the barrier to entry as an artist really quick, because I feel with NFTs, it's what you're doing is making it easier for the artist to actually be able to attach different types of media into this smart contract, into bringing this package together for a ticket. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
For an artist, first of all, a ticket can be anything, right? It can be any artwork. So it can be also a sense of collaboration between a digital artist who's adding some special message. It's not necessarily some branding or logo, right? We don't want to have some other company's logo on our ticket. It's boring, no one cares about it. Want to have something special. So it can be something designed by event organizers, their community, their artists, And we have like additional ways to actually give like incentive for like creators because we have such a thing as the royalties that we can add to every single ticket. And it can be like a royalty for a digital artist. It can be, let's say, like 20% royalty, right? So every time this ticket is being like sold at a secondary market, artists are still getting like his or her reward, and that's very important. Same way it can be like with a creator, like with a singer, right, or like with anyone else from a music industry. They can still get their royalties at the secondary market. And with NFT technology, we also know that those tickets are authentic, that they cannot be faked. And that's also important part. We can see like Beatles tickets everywhere, but we don't know if they're actually real.
Right, exactly, yeah. So let's tie that into because the benefits for all parties, and we talked about this a little bit. And when you talk about like festivals, events, sponsors, partners, all the people involved, and you started touching upon that. So I'd like to lead that in to like the benefits for all parties, because fan first. I mean, it's about the fans.
All about the fan. That's all that really matters. You know, and at the end of the day, buying tickets for fans has been painful. It's been the type of thing where you go, you think it's a certain price, they hold it back. The companies have algorithms that play games, and it's just very difficult to buy. There's no transparency. So the fan experience has been terrible. So it could only get better from here. So for the fans, there's only the upside. You know, there's the ticket stubs that have the long-term engagement. They have the collectability. They have the royalties. They have the secondary market. And then you get into all the other stakeholders. You know, the artist sharing in that annuity, the venue, the promoter, every other person around the live event. Then you get into sports. And those teams, if you think about it, imagine the New York Yankees were getting annuities on every single ticket that's ever been printed, and especially World Series tickets, Super Bowl tickets, you know, for the NFL, things like that. And it gets really interesting. You know, with Yellow Heart, the main thing that we often think about is what we call ticket as a platform, where the ticket becomes a vehicle of engagement. It's not just a barcode, a proof of purchase, something to get in the door and it dies. So once you buy that ticket, you're actually opted into that community, the community for the live event. Now you're in that community, and the question is how much do you want to engage? Do you want to engage with that community before the event? Clearly you're engaging with that community during the event, but what the NFT does is gives the fans the ability to interact both with each other and also with the stakeholders, meaning the artists, the teams, post-event. So the best example I could use is Coachella. Coachella is one of the most well-known brands in the world. They only make money 6 days a year. So with NFTs, with NFT tickets, people walk out of Coachella after having the greatest weekend of their life, and there's the continued engagement. Whether it's brands, whether it's offers, whether it's, you know, you get a discount or a free ticket to maybe one of the artists playing in your town because you attended Coachella. And there's all of these long-term, what we call long-tail engagements that come through the ticket as a platform. And that's when things start to get really interesting. When the artists could start to think about, okay, it's not just about this tour and tonight, it's about me offering up an experience that goes way past this event.
Right on. We have about 90 seconds left. We're going to do speed round.
Yep.
All right, ready for speed round? All right, let's do this. Extra utility. When you say extra utility,
Transportation, food and beverage, merch, it goes, the list
all,
goes on.
All ideas. These are things that you can add in. Talk about gamification.
Engagement with the audience and like bringing fans together, building community, and giving away like a piece of culture to the community.
Community.
You know, basically your fellow fans. I mean, it took me a long time to compile my fish crew. Long time.
And we're not just talking a Discord community, as we, all of us here, probably on 20 or more servers. Is that true? So let's see. We're going to do another final in the power round. 6 months, 12 months, 6 months, 2 years. Where are we?
I mean, we're only starting in 6 months.
And look what's happened in 6 months.
In 6 months, I believe like major festivals will be already doing NFT ticketing. Major like concert organizers will be in industry. In 12 months, I doubt there will be like big organizers are not like turning into NFTs.
All right, thank you, Elena. Josh, 6 months, 2 years.
Okay, so in the next 6 months, I call it the experimental phase. People are playing with these things. They're trying them out. They're trying different utilities. In the next year, I think Web3 is on. And I think anyone that doesn't get with Web3, you're gone.
It's on or you're gone. Mic drop.
Words to live
Thank
by.
you, Elena. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody.